Hey, what's up? I'm just continuing with this interesting episode about the essential Robotech episodes. We're not done with Macross yet. The writer. I agree with him on this. He brings up a good point about the that episode I mentioned, Force of Arms. It was like the apocalyptic finale. It was supposed to be the ending of Macross, but apparently they still had some episodes left because of its uh, unforeseen popularity. It actually became extremely popular. So they continued with life on Earth after the apocalypse, and most of Earth was destroyed. So the humans are trying to rebuild, and you have all these aliens, these Entradi, the ones who sided with the humans. They're basically giants, and they're basically raised as soldiers, warriors. So they're having problems fitting into human society. Not to mention that they're giants, so you would have a lot of problems with that. Um, it really does add a lot of drama to it. It shows the resistance, a resistance group that forms from the former villain Chiron, who's actually a great character. He's basically a villain who, if he had been allowed to do what he wanted, uh, would have defeated the humans many times, but he was always held back. Anyway, the other thing with this saga afterwards is seeing how Minmay, who is the savior of Earth, basically she changes. She becomes very sad. She's in a relationship with this Lynn Kyle character, who's kind of like a left wing anti-military uh, dude who becomes an alcoholic. So it's kind of fun if you really don't like that type of person to see how he's portrayed. This left wing protester dude turns into a real manipulative alcoholic jerk, and Min May suffers for it. It's actually very sad, and you see also that Rick decides finally that he's gonna go with Lisa because Lisa's more mature, and it's kind of sad for Min May, but Min May matures a lot too, and she sees that it's probably for the best, and she loves Rick enough where she's willing to let him go with this woman. So, and this is like a kid. I'm watching this when I'm 13, so it's kind of interesting. So we're gonna go to the Masters saga, the Robotech Masters, and yeah, this is like the least popular part of Robotech. It's called originally called Southern Cross, but Robotech Masters, I think it's good. I don't think it's a letdown. The thing I keep bringing up about the Robotech Masters was uh, there's so many battles in this, and of all the Robotech wars, it's the most senseless of the wars. And the humans are the probably I mean, they're outmatched in all the shows, but they're really outmatched in this as they go to like head-to-head combat with the Robotech Masters. And this character, who is this? This is supposed to be the daughter of Max and Miria. Okay, there's a reason why they probably focused on her for remix because you have a prominent female character, and she was. I mean, watching this show, the lead character is a female, a soldier, but a very nuanced character the way the Japanese portrayed her. But we'll just go through this real quick. So uh, they had to link these shows together. This Southern Cross, like I keep saying, they have nothing to do with each other. They linked this female character that she's going to be the daughter of Max and Miria, which is strange because you see in Robotech the kid has purple hair. Obviously, this is an unrelated show, and they just need to make a link to it. Going down further, oh look at this vehicle Voltron. That was my favorite Voltron, by the way. But I'll get into that later. So, um, here there's Dana on the right. There you go. This is where the melding of the three series really starts to shine. So the guy puts a good spotlight on Southern Cross on the Robotech Masters. The Earth was devastated. A generation later, these are the new soldiers of Earth, the Army of the Southern Cross, which is kind of like a break off from the Robotech Defense Force. Very militaristic. They're led by this supreme commander dude who's like, he looks kind of like someone from history that we know, but uh, yeah, she's basically she is a fighting female character that is totally different from the SJW Marvel DC comic character of the short haired fighting female. She's very feminine. She's very ditzy. She's kind of incompetent, but has good instincts and is a good natural fighter. And more often than not, from luck, she seems to pull her team through, and she becomes she's a commander of it. So it's kind of funny. Dana is criminally underrated. Well, she doesn't fit in with the characters today because she is very she's like a really feminine character, okay? Even though she's fighting this war. So we go here. Now this is funny. This is what I'm talking about with the character. He's talking about this character here. This is Sean Phillips, the Casanova of the team. He was actually the commander originally and got demoted because he was messing with a powerful military man's daughter. So that's the only reason why she became the commander of their group, which is kind of funny. It's not mentioned. But it's funny how the writer, and we're talking about within the modern context, the writer brings up Sean here, okay? Sean Phillips. Sean Phillips. One of my favorite character archetypes. Not his favorite character. The cool guy who acts like he never has a problem with anything, but secretly is hiding a boatload of insecurities. That's very telling about the writer. Just like I had mentioned with that other interview in the comic of Robotech Remix, where the guy was saying that Rick is a very flawed character, which I find very interesting. Sean is actually a cool character. Like I said, he's a Casanova dude. He likes to brag a little bit, but he could fight like anybody. And his character arc is that his Casanova ways catch up with him when he actually does fall deeply in love with Marie Crystal, one of the other female characters. Actually, my favorite female character in the show, who is a ace pilot herself. And you see that their feelings for each other start to build up as the war escalates. It really is cool. But according to him, the cool guy who acts like he never has a problem, but is hiding a boatload of insecurities. That's that demasculization that we're getting at. Listen, every man has his inner demons, okay? But the way that he deals with it is how you should. Okay? But whatever. We'll go over here. This is also interesting here with this. The whole idea of where the episode where the humans who have left the generation before, the SDF-3, right, which you never see because it hasn't been made, okay? These humans come to try to help them and tell them basically they're not going to get any help from the Robotech Expeditionary Force, which is out in space, who are trying to negotiate with the people that are now attacking Earth and basically miss them. But that's a whole other thing from Robotech. That's the Sentinels. But what was interesting about it was in the original series that made up Robotech Masters, the Southern Cross, it was humans from another colony planet, because in Southern Cross it's not Earth, it's a colony planet. They basically are telling their fellow humans on this other colony that they're on their own and they're not going to get any help from this other colony that doesn't want anything to do with these aliens. So once again, humans betraying you is a major theme, as well as the Supreme Commander throwing away so many human lives and soldiers in these ridiculous attacks against the superior enemy. All right, so we go here. Yeah, I remember that episode. It was kind of silly. They sneak into the hospital. And he starts going here about additional footage that they're going to show in. Okay. Fan service. Okay. Yeah, well, this is, so you got the original broadcast of Robotech. They don't have these needless shots. So he's against the racier Japanese shots in here. That's very interesting. So I don't really care either way. And just getting to the end of this, the thing about Southern Cross and Robotech Masters I like a lot, the senseless war. You're watching all these young people get annihilated and barely making a dent in the aliens, but they do kind of grind it out a bit. And then the tragic ending of it, which is basically Dana has fallen for this character Zor, this Robotech Master who is a clone of Robotech Master who wants to try to stop what the Masters are doing. He destroys the Matrix. The thing that the Robotech Masters are seeking on Earth, the reason why they're invading, is to get these flowers, which are the protoculture. And his attempt to destroy it does the opposite. It actually spreads the flowers all over the earth. Meanwhile, in the battle, the humans barely win. They barely win and have huge losses. And then the realization that now the earth has been seeded with the flower of life, which is going to attract a third alien race. When humanity's military is already exhausted, they're going to be invaded again. And that sense of foreboding and that sense of sadness and the sense of Zor's sacrifice being tragic, which I argue the tragic is the essence of Western culture and for the Japanese as well. It's really a sad ending, the saddest ending of all the Robotech chapters. Yeah, and I agree with him too. The New Generation's ending doesn't kind of make sense. It is kind of anyway. I'm gonna wait for that, but yeah, to the end when they lose some of their own, and that's basically Southern Cross tragic ending. Her team gets whittled down, and all that loss, all that death, and they're about to be invaded again now, and that's why Robotech Masters is extremely underrated. Right? Some of the mechas are kind of lousy, but some of the mechas are cool. And this was a great female character, this Jian. And of course, the series in Japan wasn't very popular at all. It was actually given new life as a part of Robotech. So that was interesting. I'm glad this guy gave it credit. Gave the thing a lot of credit. Robotech Masters is very underrated. All right. We're gonna go into New Generation, my favorite part of Robotech. All right, later.